You ever notice how some people don't need a weapon to hurt you? They just need confidence and a room full of strangers who assume they're right. Yeah, the story starts like that. Quiet, polite, nothing dramatic. Just a man sitting where he was told to sit, doing exactly what he paid to do until someone else decided he didn't belong there. This happened on a Tuesday early morning flight out of San Diego. Business-heavy route. Suits everywhere. The kind of airport where everyone looks busy even when they're standing still. I remember thinking it was going to be an easy day, headphones and coffee in hand, mine somewhere else. I had a first-class ticket seat 2C window side. Not because I wanted attention, but because after years of flying non-stop for work, comfort finally mattered more than appearances. I was wearing a plain hoodie, dark jeans, sneakers I liked because they didn't hurt my feet after long days. No logos, no watch-flashing status, just me. I sat down, buckled up, exhaled. That moment where you think, okay, I made it, I can relax now. Then I felt it. That pause, that hesitation next to me. The man assigned to 2D stood there longer than necessary, staring at the seat, then at me, then back at his boarding pass like it might change if he squinted hard enough. Mid-50s, maybe. Crisp suit, cufflinks, hair carefully gray, the kind that's meant to signal authority. He sighed loud enough for me to hear and pressed the call button before even sitting down. When the flight attendant arrived, he leaned toward her and said, not quietly, "I think there's been a mistake. I was upgraded. I'm supposed to be sitting next to someone appropriate." She blinked. "Sir, this is your assigned seat." He looked at me again, this time with a tight smile that didn't reach his eyes. "I mean, no offense, but I need to work. Confidential calls, sensitive material. This setup doesn't work for me." I waited. Sometimes silence tells you everything you need to know. She checked the manifest, nodded, and said politely, "There's no error, sir. Both seats are correct." He scoffed. Sat down anyway. But the mood shifted. You know when someone sits next to you but acts like you're taking up all the oxygen in the row that? He kept adjusting his jacket, clearing his throat, glancing at me like I'd spilled something. 10 minutes later, he leaned over the armrest and said, "So, what do you do?" Not curious. Evaluating. "I work in investments," I said. He raised an eyebrow. "Independent, something like that." He nodded slowly, the way people do when they've already decided you're exaggerating. "Well, I'm a managing director at Crestline Holdings. We handle serious capital. Global stuff." He said it like a warning. "Sounds busy," I replied, putting my headphones back on. That annoyed him more than anything else I could have done. Halfway through boarding, he hit the call button again. Different attendant this time. Same complaint louder. "I'm uncomfortable. I paid for this seat. I don't feel like I'm getting what I paid for." She glanced between us, clearly confused. "Is there an issue, sir?" "Yes," he said, pointing at me. "This." People were listening now. A woman across the aisle stopped scrolling. A guy 2 rows back leaned forward. I felt that familiar heat in my chest, not anger, yet just that old memory of being judged before you speak. The attendant said calmly, "Sir, he is a confirmed first-class passenger." "Well, he doesn't look like it," the man snapped. There it was, out in the open. I took off my headphones, looked at him. "Is there something you need from me?" He waved his hand. "I need space. And frankly, I need professionalism. I didn't fly first class to sit next to a hoodie." The attendant straightened. "Sir, I'm going to ask you to lower your voice." "No," he said. "I want the purser, or the captain, someone who understands standards." At that point, I felt something shift inside me. Not fear, not embarrassment. Clarity. Because I'd been here before. In boardrooms, in elevators, in rooms where people assumed I was the assistant, not the decision-maker. I'd learned something important over the years. You don't fight people like this with noise. You let them talk. The purser arrived. Tall, calm, professional. Asked what the issue was. "This passenger is making me uncomfortable," the man said immediately. "I don't feel safe conducting my business next to him." "Has he spoken to you?" the purser asked. "Not relevant," he replied. "Presence matters." The purser turned to me. "Sir, are you okay?" "I'm fine," I said. "Just trying to get to Chicago." She nodded, then turned back to him. "Sir, unless there is a safety concern, seating will remain as assigned." He leaned back, arms crossed, lips pressed thin. Unbelievable. For the rest of the flight he muttered, loud enough to hear, about how standards were slipping, about how money didn't mean what it used to, about how airlines were pandering now. Every word was meant for me. 2 hours and turbulence hit. Light chop. Nothing serious. He panicked, gripped the armrest, hit the call button again. This time, when the attendant came, he said, "I need to move. Now." "There are no open seats, sir." He turned to me, eyes sharp. "You should offer to switch. Be decent." I looked at him, really looked at him, and said, "Why would I do that?" He blinked. "Because I asked." "That's not a reason," I said calmly. He laughed, but there was panic in it. "You don't know who you're dealing with." "You're right," I said, "and neither do you." That's when the captain came out. Not because of turbulence, because of him. The captain listened, asked questions, checked names. Then he looked at me and said my name out loud. Full name, correct pronunciation. The man's confidence drained instantly. The captain turned to him. "Sir, this passenger is the majority shareholder of Crestline Holdings." Silence. "You report to his board," the captain continued. Indirectly, but still. The man's face went pale. "That's not possible." I finally spoke. "You should probably check your email." He pulled out his phone, hands shaking. Notification after notification. Meeting cancellations. Access revoked. One final message from the CEO. "We'll talk when you land." The captain looked at him. "Sir, given your behavior, you will not be continuing on this flight." What he shouted. "You can't do this." "We can," the captain said calmly. "And we are." Security met us at the gate. The man stood there stunned, watching people film him as he was escorted off. I didn't smile. I didn't gloat. I just watched. Here's the thing. This story isn't about revenge. It's about exposure. About how some people only believe in equality when they think they're standing on top. And how quickly that belief crumbles when the ground shifts. I've been underestimated my whole life. Because of how I dress, how I speak, how I move through the world. And for a long time I thought proving myself meant changing, fitting in, playing the role they expected. But moments like this teach you something powerful. You don't have to announce who you are. You don't have to demand respect. People reveal themselves all on their own. So here's my question to you. Was that justice or just consequences? Did he get what he deserved, or was it too much? Drop your thoughts in the comments because I want to hear what you think. And if you've ever been judged before you were known, share this story. Someone out there needs to hear it.